FindMyKids is an app that locates and tracks other Android phones. One of the things it can be used for is to keep track of where your kids are. Our free Flash Beacon program needs to be installed on any child phone you want to track. To understand how everything works, you need to read the short PDF. The two apps talk to each other. FindMyKids sends commands on what to do, and Flash Beacon sends back GPS location data. This PDF provides complete documentation on the FindMyKids app. It can be downloaded from the link on the FindMyKids Google Play page. After Flash Beacon is installed on the child phone, it must be registered and given a unique key. The app suggests that you use the phone number of the phone, but I'm going to change it to another value. I need to write this value down because I'm going to need it when I set up FindMyKids. The PDF explains why Flash Beacon is also a fully operational flashlight app that can help you see around in the dark. We already have FindMyKids installed on this phone. Now we're going to enter the same key we entered into Flash Beacon into FindMyKids and do a locate operation on the phone. Once we enter the key and bind, we will test the connection to make sure that our child phone is alive and responding. The bind is successful. And so is the connection test. You can also sound a loud audio alarm on the child phone. This could be useful if you misplace the phone around the house. We have a response from the locate. We learned that the phone is currently moving at 65 miles per hour in a north-northeast direction. We'll just view the location on the map page. We see here that the child phone is on Highway 19 in Tucson, Arizona. And that's how a locate is done. Now we are going to show how tracking is done. Tracking requires the purchase of a very low price subscription. This is necessary because tracking uses a lot of cloud server resources and space. We slide over to the track page and hit the start button. We give the trip a name because we want to keep it on our phone and email it to our PC. Tracking began when we hit the start button. The phone appears to be in a car at the Tucson Mall in Arizona. If you touch any of the node pins, you will get a pop-up showing the data for that node. You can, for instance, see how fast the car is going. If the car stops, you can also figure out how long it was stopped. After the beginning of the tracking, you can exit the app at any time you want and the tracking will continue until your chosen trip length expires. If you start FindMyKids back up while the trip is still running, you just hit the refresh button and it will bring back all of the trip up to date. The miles from target on this video is incorrect because we are running at an emulator that has no GPS capability. It's perfectly accurate on real phones. It always shows the distance between your phone and the child phone. Of course, both phones could be moving. This animated flash beacon icon is telling you that the child phone connection is still active. If it becomes inactive, it turns gray. This is useful information when the child phone stops moving for an extended time. If the icon is pulsating red, the phone just stopped moving. If the icon turned gray, the tracking operation has stopped. You can either stop tracking at any time or let the predetermined trip length automatically stop the trip. Once the trip ends, it is saved on the phone, and you can then mail the trip to your PC and review it in Google Earth if you want. You just saw the Tucson trip being tracked on the parent phone. Trips can also be viewed, real-time or historically, on a PC anywhere in the world by anyone who knows both the key and the trip title. The browser that must be used is Microsoft Internet Explorer version 11. Microsoft Edge browser will not work. To view the trip, go to deanblakely.com/view.aspx. In the key field, enter the key, a colon, and then the trip name. Then hit the View Trip button, and it can be viewed in much the same way as on the parent phone. When you send a trip to your PC, you get an email that looks like this. There's a link that allows you to view your trip on Bing Maps. There's also a KML file attached that will allow you to see your trip in Google Earth. If we click on the email, we can see the trip. This KML file from the email is of the trip taken in a little town in Sicily. The blue line defines the trip. We can follow the trip in satellite view, and we can also view street side, where we see the trip from the viewpoint of the person that took the trip. The blue line still shows, but now we are walking beside the line. You don't have to follow the blue line. You can explore anywhere you want. This is really cool for someone who might want to share a trip they are taking with friends back home. So in addition to knowing where the phone went, you can see something very much like what the person carrying the phone saw. This ends our video for FindMyKids, the best tracking app available on Android.